Hello, everybody. Tracy, Mrs. JDog Flanagan with you here today. I'm the co-founder and senior vice president at JDog Brands. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Tactical Treasures podcast sponsored by the JDog Foundation. Our podcast gives the military community a voice in the veteran space to share their stories of service, how they continue to make a difference in civilian life, and they share with me a tactical treasure that has shaped their journey in their military career, business, or life. Today, I am honored to speak with Branden Zeitler, who served in the United States Army Reserve with the 203rd Transportation Detachment aboard the MG Robert Smalls LSV-8 logistics support vessel as a 25C radio operator. Though never deployed, Brian has been activated for key missions, including pre-mobilization support, humanitarian relief during the Haiti earthquake, and multiple Army-Navy game operations. After losing a best friend to suicide, Branden started the Delaware chapter of Irreverent Warriors, or IW, a veteran nonprofit focused on preventing suicide through camaraderie and connection in 2022, where he serves as the Delaware IW coordinator. The first IW hike in 2023 marked the beginning of a personal transformation. Now, with the third hike that happened this past September 20th, 2025, the mission continues. For Branden, Irreverent Warriors is more than an organization. It's a family that pulled him from darkness and gave him hope. Hello, Branden. Welcome to the podcast. I'm excited for our discussion today, and thank you so much for your service to our country.
Thank you so much, and I am very honored and deeply happy to talk to you today and get to know a little bit, get to know me a little bit.
Yes, we have a lot to discuss. But before we get into all that, I would love to know what inspired you to join the Army Reserve.
So back in 2007, one of my best friends who was already in active duty Army, he kept talking to me and talking to me, and at the time I was going to University of Delaware, and so I told him and I gave him my word. I said, "Hey, you get orders to deploy. I'll join." 2 months later, guess what he gets? Orders to
Orders to
head out.
deploy.
And then I'm a man of my word. I went to Elkton, Maryland, to that particular recruiting station. Went up to MEPS at Fort Dix. And during that time, it was just before spring. And in May 23 of 2007, I shipped out to basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Okay. Wow. That's an interesting story. I have to say, I don't think I've heard that one. I love it. Um, is there a particular aspect or moment from your service that stood out as impactful in a positive way for you?
So I'm a very it's interesting career in the Army Reserve.
Hmm.
And that was, I was on an Army boat, which people say, you mean the Navy? I was like, no, it's United States Army boat. It was the Major General Robert Smalls. You can look it up on anywhere on Google. And the name was a LSV 8, the 8 boat. We were the largest vessel in our class, and I got to commission on that boat because as soon as I got out of AIT, I got commissioned on that boat. And it was pretty cool because I'm one of the youngest radio operators that got commissioned on an Army boat.
Wow. I love it. What a claim to fame. That's interesting.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, when you think of boat, you think of Navy.
Yep.
I didn't know that Army had vessels.
We actually have more vessels than the Navy in inventory right now.
Wow. Okay. Wow. You learn something new every day. Oh, that's great. Um, so you get out. I would love to know what your transition was like and what led you to find Irreverent Warriors.
So I got out of active service in the reserves. I wasn't AGR the whole time. I was AGR for a very smidge minute. But so I had a full time civilian job and then did my weekend drills. But at 2013 is when I got out, and on 2015, I was officially out of the army. Now, when I got out, being a reservist who is, part time military and full time civilian, it wasn't
Mhm.
hard, but it was. I always look forward to the drill weekends so I can see my brothers and sisters. I was always excited to go on whatever we were doing for drill. And I didn't have that anymore. I didn't have that out. I didn't have that help that I loved having being a radio operator. The MOS that I carried was 25 Charlie, radio operator maintainer. So it was pretty cool when you're looked upon as when we're underway, which I had to learn all of that. When you're on a vessel, you have to learn everything different than what you were taught through basic and AIT. And it was just being cool to be that person that everybody loved to be called on to. Is, hey, I need to get this email to my wife, or hey, I need to get this information, and you have that importance, and then you lose it. You lose that sense of family. You lose that sense of camaraderie in a blink of an eye, and you feel like kind of lost. And I have my battle buddies with me from my unit that either got out before me or after me, and we still kept in touch. And then in 2022 is when I found Irreverent Warriors, and I went to the first hike, and I was like, "This is wow! I've got that sense again. I got that passion that was in my belly when I was in, and instead of providing service to our country, I was providing service to other veterans who were going through their healing journey like I was. So it was definitely it was hard. There was nothing easy about the transition.
Right, right. And being in the reserve, that's interesting that to hear that you still experience the same transitional issues that active and deployed veterans experience when they leave service. That's interesting. That it sort of is similar. Um, that it's almost like that service is so deep rooted, no matter what capacity, whether it's as a reservist or active.
Yeah, active, National Guard, Reserve. I mean, it kind of doesn't matter. You still all go through basic together. You all go through
Hmm.
your AIT, tech training, job training, whatever service they call it, because you're broke down to become this new human being. And there is nothing that'll stop you from ever being that human being of what the military made you. And I,
Right,
I never
right,
deployed. I went TDY a couple times, but I never deployed. But that sense of unity, the camaraderie, the life of living with your brothers and sisters, every other, every weekend that we get together, it was, you just feel lost
sure,
because
sure,
you're like, okay, I got my schedule of my drill weekend. This is my AT weekend or annual training, and I'm excited for this. So your brain is already wired like this is when this is happening. This is when this is happening, and oh, never mind,
right,
we're getting called up for this or we're getting called up for that. We don't have that
sure,
anymore.
sure.
So
Yeah, yeah. So, you decided to start the chapter in Delaware. How how did that happen? And can anybody just say I'd like to start a chapter, or how does that process work?
So the process worked by I went to my first hike in Virginia Beach, where I met my first mentor. I have two mentors. The reason why I still am doing IW Delaware chapter in Delaware. My first mentor, and her birthday is today, Mary. Um, I asked her about it at the hike and said, I think this would be really great because in the state of Delaware, we don't really have any suicide prevention for veterans. They have the VA and stuff like that, but there's no grassroots, boots on ground to help our brothers and sisters that are definitely in need.
Hmm.
So we went through the whole process. Where would you do it? I picked Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, because for one, it's a beautiful place to do it. And when I brought it to Rehoboth Beach, because what happens is you're put on what's called a year hold. You can't just, I want to do this, and then 2 weeks later make it happen. You're on a year hold called community development, so that you show Big IW that, hey, we have funding that's coming in. We have people that want to sponsor us. We have the capable means of putting on a hike. So we have to show that we're helping out in our community. We have to show that we're actually doing what our mission is about, which our mission motto is, our statement is, we bring veterans together using humor and camaraderie to improve mental health and prevent veteran suicide. And if you're doing
Right.
that, then we can move on to the next. And so in 2022, I started putting everything together. I have a very small team at the time, but a lot of boots on ground work, a lot of sacrifice, just like how you were in the military, um, to start putting everything together. And in 2023, we had our very first Silkies hike in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, which we are now coming up on this year of our fourth year of Irreverent Warriors in Delaware.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's nice to know that there's certain steps involved and a process involved so that you can kind of help and sustain yourselves as a chapter,
That's
correct?
correct.
Hello, viewers and listeners. The JDog Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit whose mission is to prevent veteran suicide and heal veterans' mental health and PTS. 100% of all proceeds goes directly to the organizations we are partnered with. If you go to jdogfoundation.org, you can learn more about our mission, donate, and if you are in need of help, please dial 988. Our motto, saving lives one veteran at a time. Check us out, jdogfoundation.org. I have one other question. I would love to know what has being a part of IW meant to you personally.
It's emotional answer. So IW pulled me out from the pits of hell that I was in. IW gave me a family, a unit. We call ourselves a tribe because that's what we are. They took me, who was broken, dealt with my own demons, didn't think I had any other way to deal with them. And IW taught me that it's okay to be hurting. It's okay to do this, but you need to reach out and get that help. And IW provided the tools of alternative modalities that we use. And Silky's Hikes is one of them. Or go cold plunging, or go on a retreat that we have all across the United States to help me heal the brokenness that I had inside of me. The reason why I started my chapter was because I lost one of my brothers to suicide. It was very near and dear to me, and I did it in his honor. I did,
I'm
I
sorry. Sorry, Branden.
I did that for him so that anybody else who is hurting, who is lost, who is just so feeling like they're alone in this world, and let them know that they're not. That I'm here to give them a big old IW bear hug like we do at all of our events. We all give each other hugs and let them know. Cry, get mad, yell, scream. It's okay to do that, but you're not going to do it alone. We went away to we People went away to war with people to depend on each other. And now that we're back home, IW now gives you that sense back instead of trying to do it alone in your transitioning. So
Yeah.
when people ask me what's IW, they're my family. My son and my daughter have a whole bunch of aunts and uncles now that are not related to them, but they call them aunt and uncle. And I'm going to tell you what, that is the biggest, greatest thing that we all look for in life is to be loved and to not be alone.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Branden. And I'm so sorry about your friend, but by starting your chapter and doing it in his honor, that's really awesome. And hopefully you can stop that from happening to someone again,
Well, that,
by running your chapter and being that support for somebody else who's struggling.
well, we have buddy checks. I go through my list of people I haven't heard in a while. I pick 5 of them each week, and I message them every day. Hey, how are we doing?
Mm.
Hey, how are we doing? And then I give them a little homework assignment. Get a journal, piece of paper, don't matter. Write down 3 things you're happy to be alive for, or what gives you the happiness to be alive. Positive, just affirmations is what builds someone back up. Not at all at one time, but it helps. We started a new campaign, and I did not make this up at all whatsoever. This is we saw from a TED talk, and it was called the 8-minute rule.
Okay.
There was a gentleman who was talking about a friend of his. His friend of his said, "Hey, I tried to reach out to you, but I didn't hear you." And he says, "Oh, I didn't see it." He acted like he was scrolling down on his phone. Said it was said, "Hey, how you been?" It sounded like every other text that you sent me. She said, "But I really needed you." So those two people came up with an idea to say, "Hey, do you have 8 minutes?" So that alarms the bells to your brothers and sisters. I am not okay. And that 8 minutes lets it's not going to fix the problem. That's the full honesty. It's not going to fix the problem. But now that person knows that that person is not alone in their battle. For that 8 minutes, they know that they're not alone anymore. So we've adopted that here in Delaware, the Jersey chapter, the Philly chapter, the DC, and it's spreading like wildfire. 8 minutes, and that's all you need to do is save a life.
Right. I love that. And I think it's awesome that it's sort of spreading throughout the IW chapters. That's great. So, Branden, so what upcoming events can we expect as we go into 2026 for Delaware IW?
Well, I got something really excited to start off January with. We've started a new campaign. It's a crappy reason why we got to start it, but we have to start it. We're calling it Irreverent Brats.
Reverend
Reverend
Brats.
Brats.
Okay.
They are for events for kids that are going through issues just like what their parents are going through if they had a parent who deployed, who committed suicide, or anything of that nature. They're going to have a place to come to and forget about all of that for a full day. And our first one is going to be at Shall We Bounce in Lewis, Delaware. The child does not have to pay a dime to come bounce in the trampoline park that day. They get to come, have fun. The parents can watch them from, there's a little platform to watch them bounce around and be a kid and relax and hang out with other kids. The suicide rate that's now raising between 10 and 17-year-olds is about almost one a week now. One a week between the ages of 10 to 17-year-olds are committing suicide.
Wow. And you don't hear about
You
that.
don't, because it's not one a week. That's what people
Hmm.
look at. It's one a week. But I'm telling you now, if
It's
we start
terrible.
raising the alarm now, we could save a lot more lives and make that one a month. We're never going to get rid of suicide. That's you can't think it's not a reality that's saying that's ever going to go away. But we can
Hmm.
mitigate it. And we can give people tools in their toolboxes and say, "Hey, my kid's really having a hard time because her dad's deployed." And they were like, "Hey, the Irreverent Warrior is having a Reverent Bratz Day coming up. Let's go to it." So we're starting off our inaugural day. There's a full sign up sheet and everything on our donor drive, and also on our Facebook page, IW Delaware. And after that, we're going to be having a virtual Veterans Town Hall. We're going to be bringing in different veterans and explaining them their alternative modalities, nutrition, wellness, and exercise. And then one of our other ones is going to be talking about the different regions in the United States and how they cope with their mental health. Mental health. And that is at the end of January. And then we get into
Wow.
February where we start bringing in our family days. Our family time is fun because we have Putt Putt at Old Pro Golf in Ocean City, Maryland, which is veteran owned. Not many people know that. And then we have in March. No, March is Putt Putt. In February we're doing bowling. Sorry, got mixed up there.
That's
Um,
okay.
but
Wow.
yes, we have bowling in February in Milford, Delaware. Milford Bowling Alley. They give us 5 lanes, and not any veterans have to pay for themselves. They come and they have fun. And then, and
That's
then in
great.
March, that's when we have our Putt Putt. And then we have the Ocean City St. Patty's Day parade that we're going to be in. That is a very large parade that we're in.
Wow. I love it. You guys are really
Yes,
rocking
and
it.
we have,
So, I guess people should kind of stay close to like your IW Facebook page and the web page for Delaware IW,
yes, we
correct?
have an actual calendar that's set up, a Google Calendar that's set up on our website, and it shows you every single one. Plus, shows you all the different Silkies hikes that are coming up.
Oh wow, that's awesome. When is the next IW Delaware Silky
We're
hike?
on September 19th. We're already locked in and loaded, and we already have our sign. We already have
Oh,
our registration set up. Yep.
oh wow. That's great. Man, you are
Yes, ma'am.
organized.
I,
Wow. I'm
this is not all
impressed.
me. This I have an amazing team of great people.
Oh, that's great.
I actually have two co-coordinators that I have this year. Kyle and Kayla, amazing people. I mean, up above and beyond. I honestly, from when you look back in any organization when you start something and you're just by yourself, and then seeing where it's grown just in 4 years, you're like, wow. And it's just
Yeah.
it's great to see that people have the same passion as you do.
Yeah. That's great. Well, I'm glad you have so much support and help. Um, that's awesome. Branden, this has been amazing. Thank you for sharing everything. But we are the Tactical Treasures podcast. So, I have to ask you the $64,000 question, which is, what is your tactical treasure that you would like to share with us today?
Reach out. Connection will save your life. And if you don't think it will, I promise you, give it one try. Text, talk, message, and you will save a life by connection. Because isolation kills, complacency kills. Reach out and save your brother and sister.
I love it. That's great tactical treasure. And you're right. I mean, isolation is the worst thing that can happen to our veterans who are struggling. Um, yeah, that's awesome. Tactical treasure. And I think also that is a great segue into my next question. Um, any other little nuggets for fellow veterans struggling with transition?
I know a lot of people are scared or they don't feel like they earned their VA benefits. When you raised your right hand and you took that oath, you already earned it because you volunteered to write an unwritten check of your life to put on the line for this country. And if you're not ready to go to the VA, go to one of these nonprofits like Irreverent Warriors. Start with the grassroots. Start small. Aim small, miss small.
I love that statement that you just said because I say the same thing all the time. Aim small, miss small. That's great. I love it. That is wonderful advice. Thank you for sharing that. Um, so, Branden, as I said, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for being vulnerable enough to share your story and uh, what IW meant to you. I'm sure it is going to resonate with our viewers and listeners. Um, before you go, where can people find and connect with you? And where can they find out more information and keep tabs on all the great stuff happening with the Delaware chapter of IW in
So,
2026?
first of all, if you want to reach out to just Delaware, it's Delaware at irreverentwarriors.com. You can find us on IW Delaware on Facebook. And then on www.irreverentwarriors.com, that takes you to our main page. You go right into our communities. You find good old Delaware in there, and it takes you right to what's called our donor drive because each page has its own launch page. It has all of our pictures from our events, our calendar, different things that are coming up. And also, if you want to be interested in joining our team, we're expanding our team this year a little bit more. So if you're interested of joining IW Delaware, you'll be able to reach out by emailing us on there. Now, people ask a lot of questions about where money goes. We are transparent. We actually have our national budget and where every nickel and dime goes to on the Irreverent Warriors national page. And we also do that in every chapter. You ask us what you want to see where money's spent, we can show you where every nickel and dime goes to.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
Well,
Transparency,
we
right?
we are
That's
a
awesome.
4-star on Charity Navigator now at 98%.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And also, if you want to
um,
learn a little bit more, we actually have a documentary for free out in YouTube world now. It's called The Hike Back. It's a
I like
hour-long
that.
documentary
Okay.
about the Irreverent Warriors, how we started, and where we're at now.
I love it.
And it's free. We love free.
Okay. Yes, free's great. Free works. Oh my gosh, I've been taking so many notes while we've been chatting here. So much
Yeah.
to talk about in the guest spotlight. Um, Branden, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing all that you
Thank
did.
you for all of what you do. You bring a lot of us out of the darkness to help one another. So, what you do, and I am very honored to say, thank you. You are a blessing to all of us veterans.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that, Branden.
Take care.
Take care. Hello, viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Tactical Treasures podcast. We've just finished up an amazing conversation with Branden Zeitler, who served in the United States Army Reserve and is now the Delaware Irreverent Warriors coordinator. The mission of IW is to bring veterans together using humor and camaraderie to improve mental health and prevent veteran suicide, and to unite the veteran community and drive a healthy culture within its members. Through creative engagements, events, and strong veteran-based support networks, IW is the catalyst for improving the veteran outlook. IW prevents veteran suicide by support and care and knows that the best support network for veterans is other veterans. By bringing a community of warriors together through therapeutic events across the country. IW also works with other veteran organizations who provide services such as job placement, training, housing, service dogs, and more. The connections and bonds made at the IW events allow veterans to create their own support network, solving the most crucial issue contributing to veteran suicide: isolation. To learn more and find a hike in your area, go to irreverentwarriors.com, and I'll spell that for you: IRREVERENT. If you are in and around the Delaware area, check out Delaware at irreverentwarriors.com to find out more about their hikes and events. You can also check out IW on Facebook and find a hike or event closest to you. And if you are in the Delaware area, you'll want to stay close to Delaware IW's website page or their Facebook, as they have many events coming up in 2026. In January, they're having a very special inaugural event for what they are calling IW Brats. And these are the children of deployed service members. They will have a IW Brat Day at Lewis, Delaware. Shall we bounce? That is taking place on January 17th. And again, they have a Google Calendar on their webpage where you can keep track of all the exciting events coming up in 2026. February, they're having a bowling event, and March, they're actually having a putt-putt golf game. So you'll want to keep track of all of that. And just in case you want to find out more information about the mission of IW and how veterans are being impacted in a positive way by this organization, you can check out YouTube, and they have a documentary called The Hike Back. It's about an hour long, so check that out for more information. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Tactical Treasures podcast. And don't forget, you can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms, American Grit, and on our website, tacticaltreasurespodcast.com, as well as our dedicated YouTube channel. We are now airing on Reese Across America Radio on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern for the encore. You can also find Reese Across America Radio on the iHeartRadio app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. We are also proud to share that our JDog Foundation is a Reese Across America sponsorship group. For each $17 Veterans Wreath that you sponsor, $5 goes directly back to the JDog Foundation, whose mission is to prevent veteran suicide and heal veterans' mental health and PTS. You can donate right now at reaseacrossamerica.org/JDog. Again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again on another podcast real soon. Bye-bye now.